Finally, our prayers have been answered with the Quad Cortex. The brand new update that Neural DSP just dropped gives a lot of new functionality to the unit, stuff that people have been asking for a long time, myself included. New devices, new effects, new cabs, new captures, all of which I've compiled in some unique presets that you guys can try out for yourself for free straight from my Cortex Cloud account. The tones are going to be a little bit weird, but that's exciting. It's exciting that there's brand new effects on the unit and we can basically make up the most ridiculous sounds that we possibly can, which is absolutely perfect for adding spice and originality to your productions. Not only that, but with the brand new capturing technology, which they're calling the V2 captures, you can now capture things like compressors, fuzzers, and touch-sensitive amps. Yes. Compressors, fuzzers, and touch-sensitive amps. That, for me personally, is probably one of the coolest parts of this new update because it means that I can capture things like my Horizon Devices Clarity compressor, my Abasi microaggressor pedal, and even things like the Cathedral pedal from Spline Laboratories. All of which, yes, I have captured. I have made tones with. We're going to play through them soon, and you can try them out for free when you download them from my Quad Cortex account. The Nano Cortex also has this capability of capturing with the new version 2 technology, and almost all of the new captures of the amps, the cabs, the compressors, and all that stuff, you can use them on here as well. We're going to do most of this video on the Quad because it has all the new effects as well that I want you guys to hear because it sounds awesome. So, there's a lot of new things on this quad. Now, I've got Cortex Control up on my computer, and that has also been updated to obviously work with the brand new update on the quad. I have a document that was sent to me by the guys at Neural DSP outlining every single new thing, which if you go on their website, you probably see the same thing in due time. In short, Quad Cortex 3.3 adds the functionality of the Neural Capture version 2, like I mentioned before, where you can now capture, compressors, fuzzers, touch-sensitive amps, all that stuff. It's done in the cloud now rather than on the unit itself, because when you set these new captures, the way that the model trains itself is via the cloud. Version 1 is still viable. It still does, the overdrives and the amps and stuff like that while being fully offline on the units themselves. But version 2 does offer a lot more functionality. With the update, there is an abundance of brand new captures of things like, amps, combo amps, compressors, fuzz pedals, and a bunch of overdrives as well. All new devices that you can try out within the captures on the units. There is also a brand new Dumble overdrive special amp included as an actual model on the quad now, which is really cool, as well as a bunch of different cabs. I'm not going to get into the names of every single one, but you have everything from 2x12s, 4x12s, 1x12s. The most exciting part about the new devices on the quad are the effects. Now, we now have a mono synth, microprocessor, pattern tremolo, a bit crusher machine, which is really cool, a phase lock loop trying to model after the Earthquaker device's data collector, or data corruptor, I think it's called. New overdrives, a brand new octaver, a spring reverb engine, and auto wah as well. I've tried my best to use all of these brand new effects in a bunch of presets. The first one is called Sexy Time. Pretty obvious why it's called Sexy Time. Going through the preset, we have a brand new octaver, the Aggie sub octaver, going into the brand new auto wah, obviously to give us that sexy time sound, right? Using a version 2 capture of the OC76 compressor, going into another version 2 capture of the UKC10, also using this 2x12 US bleached bass lad cab, which is pretty obvious what that's called. I really like this cab actually. This cab sounds really, really nice. I think I found my new go-to for clean and crunch tones, to be honest. And then just some of that spring reverb engine to give it a little bit of slapback during Sexy Time. The next preset that I've made is Talkative Robot. Now, the way that I would use this preset in a serious case is by layering it underneath an already existing riff, especially with chords. Like, you can get some really thick sounding stuff with this, like layering that under an already existing riff of just like a normal high gain tone will really make a section stand out and give it like this almost like depth kind of like 3D effect that we've tried to emulate with like the ping pong delay being really, really fast and slapbacky and stuff like that, along with the, again, the new octaver kind of doing most of the heavy lifting. Going through it quickly, we have the gate, the octaver going into the brand new 81's Creations drive, into another V2 capture of the EV5150 Stealth Mark III EL34 model. Hell, that's a mouthful. These captures are sick. Actually, I really enjoy these captures of this amp that's now included in the new quad update. I've then just put it through the 4x12 cornfield cab. I just thought that this sounded good in the moment when I was dialing in, so I kept it. Into the ping pong delay to kind of get you this really thick robot-y, talkative robot kind of sound. Next up, we have distant memory. Now, I wanted this preset to feel like the name of it. And to do that, I've picked some very specific effects. So first up, we have, simple noise gate going into a version 2 capture of the 4 Comp Custom, then going into the version 2 capture of the Gib GA8. I've chosen the 2x12 Zilla open cap for this one, but the microprocessor. Now, this new effect in the quad is really cool and is pretty much doing what this tone sounds like, if that makes sense. It's a very cool effect. It's kind of like a delay, but there's a left and right side of the delay. You can set the width of them. You can set how far pitched up or down each of those delay trails are, as well as the timing. And you can get some really, really cool results. I've set it to be a little bit mysterious, like it's kind of just off, if that makes sense. But as it feeds back more and more, it kind of just gets worse and worse in a good way. This is probably my favorite one. This is called Timberland for very obvious reasons. We're using the brand new mono synth. Now, as you can see, there's a whole lot of control. It's essentially a synth within the quad. It's got the arpeggiator in there, which is off at the moment, but it's cool that you can have that in there. The 2 different types of oscillation, you can pick the shapes, you can pick the steps, you can detune them, you can set the levels for them. It's pretty full on, but it provides a lot of functionality to get some really unique synth sounds, especially when you combine them with other effects that are now included within the quad to kind of really get your own sound going. The new pattern tremolo effect is really fun to use, and I thought that the funniest way to use it would be to use it to kind of cover that Timberland song. I don't even know what it's called. I just know that it's from Timberland, and I know that that's the kind of riff that it is. What is it like? I got no money. It's just stupid. It's so fun. Right now I've got that pattern tremolo in steps of 8, but you can increase it to steps of 16 to get some more intricate and interesting rhythms going. That then goes into a little bit of pitch correction. I just kind of did that to get the effect going. Into a phaser, because when I was listening to the song, I was like, oh, there's kind of like a phasing effect on this synth. So I put that in there as well. Going into some modulated reverb, and then just this super ridiculous graphic to just make it as hi-fi as possible, like it is a high production pop song. Right now it's a little one-dimensional because of the pattern tremolo, but very easy to see the potential of a preset like this and what you can do with it. Going on to Clarity Dumble. Now, the preset name is pretty self-explanatory. I've made a capture with my Clarity compressor from Horizon Devices. That is within the preset. It's using the new version 2 capture technology that we were talking about a little bit ago. That then goes into the new Dumble amp model, which is really cool, very satisfying to play through. I guess that's like the best way to put it. Going into the bleach cab, like I was saying before, one of my favorite additions to the cab section in the quad in a very long time. A little bit of that microprocessor sound just for a more interesting type of delay sound. Going into then the spring engine reverb. Again, all brand new effects on the new quad update. I'm going for something like a fairly heavily compressed, you know, edge of breakup kind of sound, something that's really handy for like that Midwest kind of stuff. Sounds sick. Sounds really, really good to me. I also have a capture of the Abasi. Get rid of the Horizon Devices one and put the Abasi microaggressor in instead. It's much louder. It's much more compressed. These are the settings that I tracked it with or captured it with. I could probably turn off the overdrive channel and put the boost off on the Dumble model, but you can tell it's just super, super push. Like, I can't thump, but you get the idea. Very, very cool compressor sound. And the last pedal that I captured was my Spline Laboratories Cathedral. This is a really cool pedal. It's an overdrive pedal with like a built-in fuzz mode, and it sounds sick on high gain guitars. This is the sound of like modern metalcore at the moment, that kind of like super fuzzed out, super thick, like Teeth and Pincer and Alpha Wolf and all of these really like super high gain modern metal bands. Using pedals like this helps them get their sound, and you get a tone that goes from something like this to something like this when I turn on that capture. Really thickens it up, really fuzzes it out. But I've dialed it in a way to where you still get the clarity of what you're playing underneath. And again, you can check out that capture individually, or you can check out this preset and just download it and try it out for yourself. But yeah, those are the new effects that are within the quad. There's plenty of stuff to go through, along with all the new captures and cabs and amps and overdrives. If we sat here and made a video on every little thing that got updated in this update, we'd be here for 4 hours. Try them out for yourself. Check out my Cortex Cloud account if you want to try out these presets and captures that I made. Massive thanks to Neural, as always, for letting me try this one out early, and I'll catch you guys out in the next one. Peace.